is up, guys? Welcome to the Dynasty Fan Podcast. I am your host, Caleb M. Got a good show for you today. Going to be talking about three running backs that I am looking to sell right now for the right price, guys. I think that there are people that will be willing to give something decent for these running backs, given the last 2 weeks or the first week, right? One of these players is two of these players have played two games already. One only one. So I think that people would be willing to give something decent for these players. I think you could get good value still, and I'd be looking to move off of them for the long run. So welcome in once again. So without further ado, these are going to be the running backs. So the first running back that I'm going to be talking about that I am looking to sell right now or shop around, and of course for the right price, guys. Don't give these guys up for nothing. They had good games, but I'm willing to move off of them if I could. So this first running back right now, Miles Sanders, first game, he looks good, right? He looks good. I was glad to see him fall into the end zone. Already has more touchdowns than he did last season, right? With one, zero touchdowns all last season. So it's good to see Miles Sanders get a touchdown, as well as he had 13 carries, right, for 96 yards. So he was really efficient, which we know he could be, right, with that Philadelphia Eagles and Jalen Hurts right under center. I think he just definitely going to be efficient. He was efficient last year as well. But the concern was the goal line work and also the targets, right? And this first outing, he only has two targets. He gets a goal line carry, right? Falls into the end zone. But the only thing is that we still see Kenny Gainwell getting mixed in there. Gainwell got a touchdown as well as four targets. And then you had even Boston Scott get a few carries and some goal line work as well. And also, even Jalen Hurts got a touchdown. So Detroit was just giving out touchdowns to the Philadelphia Eagles in week one. So I'm just not sure if that's going to be sustainable. I'm not sure if he's going to be getting touchdowns every week. And I think that he's basically touchdown dependent. If he's not getting that many targets, you basically want him to fall into the end zone each week. Even if he has an efficient day and gets you 100 yards, it's still basically 10 points, right? Two receptions, okay, give him 12, 13. And I guess where you got him, it's not bad. But if people are thinking that he's going to be getting 18 to 20 points like he did week one, I would be looking to move off him. There might be some buyers. There's still a lot of believers and truthers, right? Miles Sanders truthers. He was a buy low for me. I definitely was buying him in dynasty leagues for cheap in the offseason. But right now, I think with that week one, if you can sell and move off of him, and I'll give some targets that I would look to buy for some of these players at the end of the show. But for now, my first running back that I would be looking to shop around is going to be Miles Sanders. So heading into my second running back, in a similar light, I'm just worried more so about the workload for this player. He's had two great games already so far, but I'm just not sure if it's going to be sustainable, right? He had two great showings, right, for fantasy, 22.6 fantasy points in week one, then 16.8 last night. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire, guys, I'm looking to move off him if I could, and the concern really is the workload, right? 39% of the snaps week one, only 10 touches, right? It was 7 carries, 3 targets. So for your RB, right? If you went here RB is your RB2, maybe he could be your RB3 if you're a little heavier. So it's not bad, but just 10 touches is just concerning, right? That he only had 10 touches. And some people could say, well, it was a game script. It was the Chiefs had already pulled away from the Chargers. So that's basically why he only got the 10 touches. But look at last night as well. He only had, it was a close game against the Chargers, and he only had 12 touches. It was 8 carries, 4 targets yesterday. So I'm concerned. The first game, week one, his production was saved by 2 touchdowns. He had 2 receiving touchdowns. Isaiah Pacheco got a goal line carry. Then they're even working McKinnon in the goal line, as we saw yesterday. Pacheco, not so much yesterday, didn't get much work. But McKinnon, they're still liking him in the goal line. They're still using him in the receiving game. So that's just a concern for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And even yesterday, you don't want to take it away from him, but he saved his day really with that 50-yard run. He had a 50-yard run late in the game, which was a great run. You can't take that away from him, but I just think he's going to be big play dependent and TD dependent with limited touches like that. If he's getting 10 to 12 touches a game, I'm just concerned. I don't see that how he could just keep that efficiency up of getting 22 and 16 point, fantasy point days. I just don't see that happening. I think it's going to be the next few games will be definitely lower than that in my opinion. I don't see him getting multiple receiving touchdowns in a game or just ripping off 50-yard runs. So right now, I know a lot of people are excited about Ekeler in the first two games. So I would be looking to move off him if I could. I'm just a little bit concerned, like I said, for him just to sustain this efficiency going forward. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire, my number 2 running back that I'm looking to move off of him for the right price. Don't sell these guys or move off for cheap, right? But I think if you can get something good or decent, I would definitely be looking to move off of these guys. So final running back going to talk about is going to be Austin Ekeler. Also played in that same game with CEH. And I know week 1, only 49% of the snaps was definitely concerning. He had 14 carries, which is about right. He usually doesn't carry the ball too much. 4 targets, not bad, but only 11 points that first game. And the worst thing is they're mixing in these other running backs. We've seen now the Chargers about 3 years in a row just they keep drafting these running backs. They're looking for someone to help out with that workload. And even Ekeler said it himself, right? He wants someone to be in there to help him out with that workload. So they went with Larry Roundtree, and then it was Kelly, and then this past year they got Spiller. So they're desperately seeking. Then they bring in the veteran Sony Michel, who they already worked in yesterday. So that was concerning. Sony's only been there, not even maybe 2 weeks or so, and they gave him a goal line carry yesterday. So that's just a little bit concerning for me. Joshua Kelly's getting a little bit of work. Now you have Sony Michel getting some goal line carries. So I'm concerned for Ekeler. Really, his day it's deceiving because he really saved his day in that last little 2-minute drill where he got a couple of receptions and got some good little yardage. But other than that, he was pretty much going to have the similar day than week 1. Very similar, going to be around 10, 11 points. So if someone just sees that box score and sees 18 points for Ekeler and think, hey, Ekeler had himself a day, I would definitely be looking to shop Austin Ekeler. I think he's a popular name. He was a very high draft pick in your drafts. Most people were getting him like in the top 5. So definitely Austin Ekeler. If you could move off of him, I definitely would. I'm concerned going forward, as well as even Herbert got hurt. Possibly had some fractures in his rib cartilage. So I'm concerned about Austin Ekeler going forward. And if he's not going to be getting goal line work, and it just does not look good. Production was really saved, like I said, by that 2-minute drill. So I'm concerned about the usage of Austin Ekeler going forward. Some trade targets that I would be looking for, guys, I think not for one. I think for Ekeler, if you wanted to make a lateral type of move, like if you wanted to trade for another running back, one running back that I think you could get a deal done with would be Dalvin Cook. So he had a poor performance in fantasy players' eyes, right? He had 13, I think, fantasy points. But the good thing about him is the usage. He had 25 touches. So Dalvin Cook, he had 20 carries and 5 targets. So I definitely would take Dalvin Cook over Ekeler right now. So if you could get that deal done, maybe even Stephon Diggs, who was drafted later than Ekeler. I know he had a great week 1. But maybe you can make that happen if someone, maybe the Elijah Mitchell owner or somebody that is a little bit more running back needy right now. So I wouldn't mind trading for a top maybe 5-6 receiver. Right? Obviously, you're not going to get Chase. You won't get Chase or Jefferson, but you might be able to get Diggs, maybe Devontae Adams. I know that Adams had himself a game. Tyreek Hill, maybe. I would be willing to do that, guys, because I'm just a little bit concerned about Ekeler going forward. And for the other guys, CEH, Miles Sanders, if you could get a deal for A.J. Dillon, I know people are excited for A.J. Dillon, what they did week 1, but if somebody might think he's a sell high, someone might be thinking he's not going to lead in targets like he did week 1, how he out-targeted Aaron Jones. So there could be someone that is looking to sell high, right, on A.J. Dillon. You could take advantage of that. Also, J.K. Dobbins, I think, is a buy low. I think it's a little risky, but if you could trade Sanders for J.K. Dobbins, I wouldn't mind doing that. You might be able to wait a week because Dobbins is going to be out. Probably not going to play this weekend, so you could maybe wait a week on that. But I would be looking to shop CEH and Miles Sanders, any of these guys for the right price. Even St. Brown, I think you might be able to get Amon-Ra St. Brown if someone's looking to capitalize off of his first game. But Amon-Ra, definitely a guy that I like. And he was similar draft capital, right? They're all kind of drafted around the same price. So those are some of the running backs that I am looking to sell right now for the right price, of course, and also a few trade targets of your own that you could be looking for in your leagues. I saw Dalvin could go up on the trade block in my league after the first game, so definitely people are willing to move off of some of these players. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Be sure to like and subscribe if you did. Thank you guys for tuning in. Also, let us know in the comments who are some players that you are looking to buy or sell. And we appreciate you guys tuning in once again. And until next time, see you later.